So you're a superstar in your training, but for some reason you can't replicate that in your matches. Well, today we're going to go over how to play good in a soccer game. Hey guys, it's Dave from SimplySoccer here, where we're helping you to improve your game and stand out on the pitch. And on this channel, we release daily soccer tips, technique, and training videos, all designed to help you do that. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you're notified whenever we release new videos or do live streams. Many players have told me, whether it's through email, through comments, or other means, that they are able to play amazingly in their team training, but can't replicate that same form in matches. First off, realize this is actually a very common problem that many players have, and the solution is a little more straightforward than you realize. So let's go over why this is what happens and why you're not able to replicate your practice form into your matches. So let me give you the short answer first, and the short answer is that practices or your team training is a low pressure situation where you can afford to make mistakes, where you can afford to make errors, while in matches you can't really afford to make too many mistakes or errors. Essentially, you become more nervous, worried, anxious about making mistakes in matches, but when you're in practice, you probably don't have that same anxiety. The problem is that when you get nervous and you start getting anxious and you keep focusing on the potential mistakes that you could be making in matches, a few things happen. First, like I said, is you become nervous. You become ultra sensitive and ultra worried that you're gonna make a mistake that's going to make you look silly, cause someone to yell at you, or perhaps even hurt your team in the match. The only problem is that this nervousness not only prevents you from playing the game you normally would, it also causes you to make more mistakes, and it causes you to withdraw into your shell. For example, if you're typically a skillful player in practice who beats players one-on-one, you're probably not able to do that in matches. Maybe you're someone who takes a lot of shots and you score a lot of goals in practices, but again, you can't do it in matches. Does this sound familiar? Do you find yourself nervous in similar situations that you are in matches, yet you're confident doing in practice? So recognize first and foremost that your reluctance to take the same risks in matches that you would in practices is actually hurting you. Just remember that impact players have to take risks in matches. You look at any of the best players in the world and they take risks. Sometimes the risks won't come off, but that's okay. Sometimes they will. Now, the difference between someone who's confident and not confident in matches is the person who's confident, when they make a mistake, they brush it off and bounce back. But someone who lacks that confidence or gets ultra worried about making mistakes or is super nervous, they allow it to affect them way too much. Essentially, they let their mistakes reduce their confidence, while the confident players don't let the mistakes affect their confidence. There's that word, confidence. Here we find ourselves at the root of the problem. You need to be confident going into matches. The reason you're probably not confident in matches, but you are in practices, is because you're comfortable in practices. If you make a mistake in practice, you go, whatever, no big deal, I'll get the next one, and you bounce back, right? Well, you need to start developing that same confidence and self-assurance for when you're playing in matches. Okay, I know that's easier said than done. So let's go over a few practical things that you can do to elevate your confidence in match situations. First and foremost, stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Now, it's fine to have big expectations for yourself in matches, but don't be putting so much on you that it's affecting your performance. Just tell yourself to go out there and play your game. I mean, you've been practicing for a long time. You do well in practices. Just do that in the game. Second, if you make a mistake, move on and bounce back. This one is so important, because if you make a mistake and let it just sit and take refuge in your mind, you're going to make it more likely that you'll make a mistake in the next play, and you're going to get down on yourself, and you're just going to allow it to affect your performance. So let go of mistakes and tell yourself you'll get the next one. Every single player in the world makes mistakes. It's what you do after you make that mistake that counts. Third is stop doubting yourself in matches. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You have an opportunity in one of your practices to score. You take the ball, you slot it in the net, you don't even think about it. Okay, so now you're in a match with a similar chance. You get nervous, you overthink it, and you miss. So what's the difference? Well, In the practice, you were confident because you've done it so many times before, you didn't put pressure on yourself, you weren't nervous, you just did it without thinking. While in the match, you worked yourself up so much, you overthought the process, that you actually made yourself nervous. Stop thinking that the negative will happen and start only thinking that positive outcomes will happen. So that means when you have a chance in a match to score, always think you're going to score. Now obviously you won't score every time, but it doesn't help you to think that. It does help you, however, to believe that every single chance that comes your way, you're going to put in the back of the net. But again, if you doubt yourself in that situation, you'll start becoming nervous. So start analyzing your thoughts and make sure that you're not sabotaging yourself. And trust me, there's a huge difference between a player that goes into a match with doubts and a player who goes into a match with confidence, even if they're at the same skill level. Okay, and fourth is actively work on your confidence. Confidence is not something you're born with or only certain players are meant to have. It's also something that doesn't happen overnight. It can be developed, but you need to be actively working on it. This means analyzing your thoughts, developing a strong self-image, and practicing the physical things to a point where you're completely confident in your ability to do them. Now again, you might not get this right away. You're gonna have to work at it like any other skill you're trying to develop, but keep going. Keep analyzing and keep moving forward with your confidence. All right, question of the day is, are you a player who does very well in practices but not so well in matches? Let me know in the comments and let me know, why is that? What is it that causes you, that I went over in this video, to not play well in matches? All right guys, thank you so much for watching. Please share this video with a teammate or friend who has this problem of being really good in practice but can't seem to do it in matches. Hopefully this video can help them out. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and like this video as well. And remember, we'll have 2 videos come up across the screen that you can click on to learn even more. And we will release another video tomorrow at 5 p.m. So come back. I don't know if it will be a live stream or a video, but something's happening around that time, so come back. All right guys, remember, this is Simply Soccer, where we're helping you to improve your game and stand out on the pitch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.